Alright folks, welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time watching, make sure you hit the subscribe button down below to continue to follow my adventures. But this video is not about one of my adventures. It's giving some advice. Follow along. So I often get asked if I am a doomsday prepper. And I have to honestly answer that, you know, if you're I'm a guy that likes to be prepared. I guess that goes with 30 years of being in emergency services, you know, being prepared for just about anything. But I don't consider myself a doomsday prepper. I mean, if there's going to be a comet that's going to hit the earth, do you really want to survive that? If there's going to be all-out nuclear war, do you really want to survive that? I mean, you're going to die of radiation poison eventually. That's my guess. Or cancer, and there's not going to be any kind of treatment because you're all by yourself, locked in a bunker. And that's another thing. I don't have millions of dollars where I can have an underground bunker, because when you do that, you got to have a way to filter air, filter water, take care of your sewage, and all that good stuff. So, being in the Adirondacks, you need to be prepared. Our system up here is fragile. Our electric grid system is fragile. Our supply chain is fragile. Our roads are fragile. We have had in the past some horrific storms. Blizzards, the ice storm of '98, major snowstorms, major windstorms, and even though we're not in Tornado Alley, we had one of the longest tornadoes on record here in the Adirondacks. In 1845, I believe it was the Great Wind is what they called it. And it was a tornado that started down by Buffalo in Orleans County, I believe it was, came across Lake Ontario, gained a lot of strength, came into Jefferson County, came up through Cranberry Lake, Star Lake, up into Tupper Lake, dropped back down in by Union Falls, over into Sable, Peru, out onto Lake Champlain, and into Vermont. Total tracks of this tornado was 275 miles. And so tornadoes can happen here in the Adirondacks. And we aren't on a Gulf Coast or the East Coast where we're prone to hurricanes, but we have them. All one has to do is look back to Hurricane Irene in 2011, devastated the Adirondacks, devastated it. And I had a video that I did on Halloween night. We had a major storm come through in 2019. This is one of the poles that is still up down the road from my house. Yes, this pole is strapped together with a piece of wood and strapping. That was the fix for it. Next time we have big winds, that pole's going to go over, and guess what's going to happen to the power? It's going to go out. This is the things that we have to deal with. So being prepared doesn't necessarily make me a doomsday prepper. I am prepared to the fact that we could have a weather event here that could damage our supply chain, damage our roads, damage our power system. The 1998 ice storm, it was 27 days without power in January at my place. I learned a lot on that one, and that's what really changed my household around to where I'm going to work to make sure I'm prepared. It's as easy as 4 steps. And people who say, I can't afford to do it, I can't afford to do it. I know people who are on disability, $900 a month, that have a fully prepared pantry in case something happens. It doesn't have to happen overnight. I didn't get all my supplies, just go out and order them and they come. That's not what happened. I did it over time. And I'm going to show you some of the things that I have in my preparedness closet in case we have an event like a grid down, a cyber attack on our grid, a blizzard, an ice storm. Who knows what could happen? So here's my advice. Now I'm going to try to do this over the hum of the neighbor's generator down the road. Why they got to run it the entire time, I don't know. But here are number one on the list that you need to prepare for in case something happens. Food and water. Two essentials that you have to have. Alright? If you decide to build your pantry up with canned goods, canned goods last for a long time. Expiration date on this is 2023. Expiration date on canned good here, 2023. And this I bought, I think, 4 or 5 months ago. I bought these. This is 2022. Canned goods are good to have, but you have to rotate them. You have to put in a system where the newest go in the back and the oldest comes to the front. You don't want to just keep taking from the front. I got a daddy long legs climbing off my leg, and so you want to rotate your canned goods. You don't want to spend all your money on stuff like this or ravioli or lasagna. These aren't bad to have. They're not bad, but you want to have a good mixture of fruit, vegetables, and other canned goods. Stews is another good one to have, but you want to rotate your canned goods. Now, some of the food that I like to keep in my preparedness closet is freeze-dried food. If you follow my channel, you know I like the Mountain House food, but there are plenty of companies out there that sell freeze-dried food. There's Mountain House, there's Shelf to Table. This is a 8-pack. This is more of a military style meal. There's Legacy Foods, there's Ready Wise, there's Emergency Essentials. They are all freeze-dried food, and these foods are designed to last from 10, 15, up to 25 years in the right settings. If you put them in an environment that's got a lot of moisture, they're not going to last. Put them in an environment that is going to be hot all the time, they're not going to last. Put them in an environment that you want to take care of them. That's why I have a preparedness closet. It's a closet in my house that is nothing but preparedness in case something happens. Now, for $300, you can buy a month's worth of food, freeze-dried food. It might even be more than that. It might be a 2-month supply for $300. I can't remember what it is, but there are a lot of varieties out there. This is a classic spaghetti and in the meat sauce. This is Shelf to Table. I like this company because they have their meat in one package. This is for fajitas, and then they have their vegetables in another package. So you can put them together when you want them. Now these, I have some of these in my house, and these are a pack, ready to eat meals, and it comes with self-heating. So remember those ice packs that you can break and they get cold? Well, this has an ice pack or a heat pack in it. It doesn't get your food piping hot, but it will get it warm. And there's several different containers in here that has there's home-style chicken with noodles and a vegetable sauce. There's an oatmeal cookie, frosted brown sugar toasted pastry, peanut butter crackers, lemon flavored drink, which you put into your water, a towelette, the heater, salt, all in here. This is an all-in-one meal. Now this meal right here is 1,190 calories. This one here is 470, and if you get stuff like this, that's a 590 for that whole thing. But if you're one that you don't want to rotate your cans and you want to buy something and basically forget about it, this is the way to go. A little bit more expensive. Like I said, $300 will get you at least a month's worth. I think it's more than that now, but it'll get you at least a month's worth. As far as water, if you have containers that you're going to put water in, you want to be able to treat that water to keep it good. I recommend for people to buy water that's already sealed, okay, and put it into your closet away from the sun, and it will last a long time. It will last a long time. You can buy the bigger water if you want, but if you're in an area where you think you're gonna need a lot of water, remember, you're gonna need water not only for cooking and not only for cleaning, hygiene, but maybe for flushing the toilet too. And the average toilet takes 2 gallons to flush. Now they've gotten better throughout the years. They might be down less than 2 gallons now in a lot of the newer places. But this is the essentials that you are going to need: food and water. All right, folks, that was part 1 of this series of Adirondack Preparedness, what I do in order to prepare for an event, whatever that event will be. This was your food and water, how I prepare my food and water. Next week, I'll put out part 2, which will be cooking, heating, and lighting. So follow along for next week for part 2. All right, folks, you watched all the way through. Thanks for that. If you liked the video, make sure to give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, click the subscribe button down below. Continue to follow the adventure. And remember, folks, tomorrow is no guarantee for any one of us. So disconnect from that Wi-Fi, connect to this out here. You won't be disappointed.